Millions of Americans face a dramatic loss in income this week as Washington is just beginning to negotiate a new federal aid package.
Utahns have received more than $700 million in additional federal unemployment assistance. Fox 13's Max Roth joins us with a look at the debate over that money. It's a big amount, Max.
It is. You know, just to put it in perspective, we're talking about $600 extra each week that's coming from the federal government. That's more than half of what Utah has paid out in benefits during this crisis. The state itself has paid less than $400 million. Federal government, you said, more than $700 billion. It's a lifeline for many, but when we asked about it on Facebook today, we saw competing forces and emotions collide.
The question, have you been relying on these payments? The replies poured in, the first few dominated by one thought. Get a job, find a job, get a job, about freaking time, freeloaders. Angelina Forsgren swam against that tide, her post saying people don't understand the complexity of the situation. Those of us who have real good-paying jobs are not going to leave those jobs for a temporary side gig that pays way less just to avoid government help. That didn't go over well. You truly think a little too highly of yourself. It's your choice not to work and making a selfish decision to stay home.
That is the job I love. I worked really hard to get there.
That's Angela. She's a prenatal massage therapist, and she's been back to work since May when she helped her boss reopen.
We were a small business that was just on an incline, steady incline to booming, so to speak, and COVID hit. And, now we're kind of back to square one, just steadily trying to grow our business back to where it was.
But she has friends still waiting, some like her with high-risk family members. And her post was about picturing herself in that place.
I think it's really devastating because at that point, a lot of families will have to make the decision to give up.
The online argument continued, making it obvious our community is full of pain and anger. Essential workers got screwed over, one person writes. Another, how about getting those who have been at work during this whole thing some hazard pay? And a lot more saying, get off your high horse. For example, the working class has been carrying America since March. Angelina gets that she's lucky her job came back, but she's worried. Her pay is half what it was. Her husband is high risk, and she has friends who have it tougher. Everyone's on edge.
I'm not perfect. I can be a troll sometimes too. I get angry and passionate. But in this day and age, all of us are kind of in the same boat.
It's a tough argument, and you see that it's just complex, so many people coming from different directions. No matter what people think about the philosophy behind those payments, the last we heard, there are just under 90,000 Utahns who are about to have $600 fewer every week. How that impacts the economy, we're going to see unless Congress acts a whole lot faster than anyone expects it to. Live in the newsroom, Max Roth, Fox 13 News, Utah.